You had a nice phrase in the book. You said one cloud leads to another, and I suppose that's part of the glories and the frustrations of being a cloud spotter.
That's right, but it's actually, I'd say it's more the glory because one of the advantages in my mind of being a cloud spotter and becoming interested in the clouds is that you learn by becoming interested in and by recognizing the characters in the sky. You develop a different relationship with the sky that we have in Britain, and it's not, the knee-jerk relationship that most people have, which is one of complaint. That there are too many clouds around. Oh no, is it good weather or is it cloudy weather? My argument is that we live where we live, and there are a lot of advantages that maybe aren't so immediately apparent for having lots of clouds and having a moist climate in terms of the vegetation we get here. And so it's a mistake to always be thinking that life would be perfect if it was a blue sky every day. Might be a change for a bit, and it might be, it might feel like a novelty for a while, but I think before long, when we kind of miss the variety, the drama, the kind of architecture of the atmosphere which clouds bring.
One of the things I really liked about the book was the way that you sort of project personalities onto different cloud types. You describe some as having charisma and others as lacking it, and the way you can, you see shapes in clouds. Tell me a bit about those sort of more metaphorical characteristics that you read into clouds.
Yes, well, I think there's one of the intriguing things about clouds is that though they are physical phenomena, they're chaotic, certainly, but they're caused by, and they're the result of physical processes which we are all familiar with, or at least scientists are all familiar with. And yet there's another side to clouds, which is one reason why I find them intriguing and interesting. There's the other side to them which feels very unscientific and not cut and dried and not black and white. By their definition, they feel a little bit more poetic than that. And they have the sort of quality of thoughts. They kind of pass over us. For that reason, I kind of imbue them with personalities. I think you do it in a tongue-in-cheek way.
Yeah.
Because I think it's a funny idea. If you take the alto stratus cloud, that is described by meteorologists often as the boring cloud because it just sort of hangs there. It has no features to it. It's a flat, overcast, grey sky, a Tupperware sky. That hangs around, doesn't even really produce any rain. It feels to me a little bit like an unwanted guest at a party who refuses to leave at the end of the evening. So I kind of like to think of it like that, whereas something like a cumulonimbus cloud, which is the enormous, ferocious storm cloud, there's something very fiery and maybe Latin about that. It's certainly kind of powerful and angry, and it makes me think of kind of a certain character type. I don't know. It just sort of seems to be a natural thing, a natural way of making sense of the clouds, and also a natural way of thinking of them as kind of characters. The mistake is to ignore the fact that in fact they're constantly changing from one type to another, adapting and modifying themselves. So, it's perhaps wrong to dwell too much on the characters, or perhaps it's better to think of them as kind of confused, schizophrenic characters, I don't know.
Let me ask you, Gavin, finally, what kind of day is it today where you are for cloud watching? Have you got a good and interesting cloud cover? Or
yes, it's been all right. There was this morning it was kind of quite a lot of rain and overcast, and you can't sometimes tell whether that's the nimbostratus cloud, the one that hangs around and drizzles for a long time, and the one that gives all the other clouds a bad name, or you're just underneath a large rain cloud, like a large cumulus congestus. And in fact, it turned out to be the latter, because after the shower came down, the sky cleared, the sun came out, there was a clarity in the air, which is a result of the cloud having brought all the pollution and the dust in the air back down to the ground. And there was a sort of vibrant feel to the morning. So now we've got what's known as sunny intervals, which is always the best weather for cloud spotting.